Good afternoon, everybody. It's so good to see you. I know that I had mentioned that I will be here Thursday afternoons, but it just hasn't been working out. And this seems to be the golden hour right around now on Fridays. And I think I might move my time to Friday afternoons, to be honest with you. I hope that's easier for everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit about, I had mentioned earlier that I was going to speak of liver functions in fertility and how they work in unison with the body in fertility for men, male fertility, and for female fertility. And I wanted to discuss a little bit about that today. So we're going to start that whole journey, breaking down the different properties of the different properties and the different elements of the organ function. And today, because it's this time of year, it's spring. I mean, we can say that. The daylight savings is this weekend, and the first day of spring is next week. So, and it has been so nice out. If you look closely, you can start to see flowers coming up, and tree buds are starting to open up. So you can say it's spring. So the first organ that I would like to talk about is the liver. And the reason I want to talk about the liver is because the liver is associated in so many ways to spring. It's full of bile. It's green. It's full of green. It's full of wood. Some of the elements associated with it are wood, and it also, after a long winter of heavy eating and not a lot of exercise, it needs to be cleansed or taken care of or paid attention to first thing in the spring. So the best thing you can do is treat the liver. So I am a firm believer in treating organs in the season in which they are dominant. So how does the liver affect fertility? The liver affects fertility in several ways. Let me first explain what the liver's primary function is. And let me just put a disclaimer in. When I'm speaking of organs, organ pathology, and organ systems, it's in perspective and retrospect. It's to Chinese medicine. It's in that perspective. It's in that view. It is not in a Western pathology view. So if I mention liver blood disharmony or a heart deficiency or something of that nature, it's simply based in Chinese medicine. It doesn't mean you have serious problems with your organ systems. It's just energetically speaking. So you have to keep that in mind. So we're going to talk about the liver. The liver's main responsibility in Chinese medicine, in the body, is to house blood. So the liver stores all of the blood in the body. And also, one of its main dual responsibilities is that it helps move it. It helps move it. So it helps move qi, your body's energy. So it helps move it. And so you have the organ system that moves blood or holds blood and moves qi, moves energy. So that being said, and I apologize for the noise. I think the nitrogen truck is outside, so it's quite loud. And so going back to the liver, one of the biggest culprits to liver disharmony is stress, anxiety, substance abuse, overeating, just generally not taking care of yourself. And so what happens is it affects the liver. And one of the ways it can affect the liver is that it makes the liver sluggish, or what we call stagnant. So you get a stagnant liver function. So it's not moving energy, it's not moving qi, but also it's not moving blood because chi moves blood. So now you have blood that's slow to go to specific areas of the body. Let's talk about the uterus. It can delay menstruation. Also, on top of that, it you can have the stagnation, which causes some discomfort. So if your periods are painful, generally it's because you have a stagnant liver chi. And so, and on top of that, also, it's important in keeping a mental well-being. So if you're under heavy loads of stress and you're not eating right, like you see a lot of this with students who are in school and they're not taking care of themselves, or even professionals or anybody really for that matter, that they aren't taking care of themselves. They're eating off times and they're not sleeping and they're under immense stress. It immediately affects your liver. So over long periods of time, you start to get a very unhappy liver system. And so you have lack of chi flowing through the body. It can disrupt your menstruation. It can disrupt a lot. It manifests a lot in vision problems. So if you find that your vision is going a little bit, it's probably because you have liver stagnation. The great thing about liver chi stagnation is that it's easy to treat. If you let it go, it can really become a problem, and it can settle in. But it's very easy to treat. Now, keep in mind, every organ system has a season, right? And so during that season, if you have an organ system, say the liver, that is unhappy, it's going to act up in that season because it's at its prime time. So it's going to act up. So don't be alarmed if in the spring if your liver's unhappy, if you have a little bit more anxiousness or anger per se, or if you're short-tempered, keep in mind it's not you. It is you, but it's not you. It's your liver. So I know that sounds crazy, but it is true. And if you treat it through acupuncture or meditation or yoga, even some dietary supplements, it doesn't take much, and your liver starts to respond quite well. And in that, what you'll find is you'll find all your physical symptoms that are associated with that get better much quicker. Now, I could get into some lengthy discussions on specific treatments, but I will say the best treatment for it is acupuncture. Now, as we go into the spring, I want you just to keep that in mind. Keep in mind that, a little exercise is going to go a long ways. And I don't mean cardiovascular. I don't mean weight training. I mean fresh air. I mean walking, yoga. It's going to help get everything moving. A little acupuncture is going to help. I encourage everyone to get acupuncture during a season change. I have some clients that only come in 4 times a year. They come in winter, spring, summer, and fall when the seasons change. And it's just to keep themselves balanced. Please enjoy yourself. Enjoy the spring. Enjoy the spring weather. And we will be discussing another organ system next week. Thank you.